Hello everyone, and today I just saw the Expendables 3 in theaters, and basically I'm here to give you my opinion. Now, with a movie like this in a franchise, you can't talk about this film without addressing the other films. First Expendables I don't like, even though really enough on DVD. The second one I thought was a real saving grace. I mean it has problems, but it's like, to me, that's like my 80s and 90s cheese, like really laid back fun fest of a film that it was. Like, it was fun, it was clever, it took risks, it was fun, it was adventurous. I thought the second one was a real blast in my opinion. I thought it was really good. So going from first and second, I kind of didn't really know what to expect from this film. Was it going to be good or bad? Unfortunately, this film is getting a lot of bad criticism, and I can kind of see why, sadly. On a certain level of this film, it's quite frontal and direct with its story. Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, and Ross Schwarzenegger and the crew of the Expendables are basically in the cat and mouse type of game with up against Mel Gibson's character, and basically it goes on from there to trying to capture each other and to finally consult this and ending of a feud. It's basically very front and very direct with a story like this. And with a movie like this, I quite appreciate that. It's like you don't have to have a story like Inception or Memento for a movie like this. Like, it's just a simple action movie. You don't need a super complex story. And for this film, I kind of come down. I'm kind of thankful that we get this very straightforward and simple story. I do appreciate it and I do like it. Now, another thing I do like about this film is the cast. The cast is stellar. Arnold Schwarzenegger, everyone in their own right does a really good job. Some of them are kind of like on the side, like all these younger, the new expendable group that Sylvester Stallone brings in at some point. I don't give a shit for them. All of them are crap. They give decent performances, but they were crap choices of actors, and I cannot give a shit for them. Except for, like, if any of them were killed or anything like that, it's like, I would not have cared if they did that or not, because honestly, I wouldn't have given a shit. But all the main characters I've seen from the first two, in my own opinion, I will admittedly say I like seeing them, and I want to see them where they go, like Barney and Christmas and Gang Gang. I like these characters, and I want to see them go places. They're decent. They're not the best type of characters, but they're still having fun with what they get. The action, I will say, of all things, was pretty good. There's a balance between in the beginning and in the end that are very, very, very good. There's some action scenes in the middle of the film that are like, yeah, it's pretty fun, and I do highly respect the production design at times. Like, I'm like, at least they're using practical effects under on most parts, and it's like, okay, good. And they, of course, they have the CG, but they have the CG. Well, I will say this: there's moments in the film where it's like there is such clear bullshit CG, and you're just like, why do you need that? This is Expendables. You don't need to be this pretentious for yourself. This type of movie needs to be very front and direct, like the story was, but the visual view of it wasn't that great. Like I said before, and but what really fails about this movie is the essence of Sylvester Stallone bringing in these new crowds of seeing. We're all just tired of seeing the old people. We want to see the young, and the hit, the good-looking crowd, and I think that's totally diminished. I'm like, no, we don't give. I'm like, as a movie kid criticism, I'm like, no, we don't want to see that. We want to see these friggin' old people who kick ass from the 70s and 80s and up till now. We want to see these older people be in these roles. And it's like, it's kind of like the film is doing this universal thing. It's like, it's supposed to be all these great action heroes like Jet Li and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone coming together and just having fun from the past of their own, like, really great famed movies, coming going together. And the point where they're bringing these new characters, I'm just like, no, they really dropped the ball. Another thing I don't like about the film is that its pacing at times is really shit. There's moments where it just goes flying by and it seems like there's no real growth, there's no real resolution, there's no real essence of time in the film. And there's moments where you're just like, no one died. I'm starting to give away such a huge spoiler, but no clear character who you're rooting for bites the bullet. But especially about that fraction of this film, there's no real essence of care. Like, I do like these characters, but there's a sense where there's no real threat. It's like, I think at one point Mel Gibson's character says, "God, how is it hard to hit like a 6-foot man?" Okay, and I do think that's a very legit point. I'm like, why can't you just hit a character like this big? He's like, "Go on, right here. You see, I can do that." See? So I'm just like, oh gosh. Now, there is some performances in my opinion that do really stand out. Number one, they bring in Antonio Banderas and Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer, he gets like a few scenes in the beginning and he's quite good in it. I really liked him. Antonio Banderas, he was deeply annoying at some points, but I think the film did, like near the end, they were clearly establishing the point is like, we know he's annoying, we know he talks a lot, you need to it's like, we're kind of riding on the fact that Antonio Banderas' character is annoying. I'm just like, okay, they're kind of being self-aware at that point, and I do think that's kind of understandable. Like I said before in the beginning of the video, all the main cast, really, really good. I love these actors, and they do give good performances. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wesley Snipes, Jason Statham, or Sylvester Stallone, they all give good performances. Yeah, the dialogue isn't great, and yeah, the lines delivered is very awkward and bad, but you kind of don't give a crap because these are all badass characters who are coming here just collaborating off each other and bouncing off each other, and I do highly enjoy that. And another thing, but the biggest standout for me in this movie of the performances is definitely Mel Gibson as a villain, and he is like, holy crap, he is a real saving grace. He is so enjoyably over the top, so overly weird and aesthetically pleasing in the film that it's just like, he's so freaking funny. I will admit, he's really freaking funny. And there's no, but, and he's a truly just having a fun, kick-ass time here. Yeah. But, there's no real sense of these characters going through real danger. Like, it's kind of like running on the fact that times it kind of notices it. It's like, why can't these characters just die? But, there's also a fraction in this film that says they kind of know what they're doing, but at points they really lose it. So for me, it's a real toss-up. It's like, there's some things I do quietly, I do personally quite enjoy. The actors were quite good choices, and the action was really good. Story was simple and frontal and direct, but there's all terrible things in here too. So overall, in my personal opinion, I'm going to give the Expendables 3 a 55%. I'm just going to give it 55%. There's a lot of terrible things, but there's also a lot of good things in too. A lot of things that I personally did enjoy. Personal biases aside, there's no bad things. So in the end, I'll give this film a 55%. And thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my review of this movie. Tell me down below what you thought of this film. And like always, everyone, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. And remember, stay strong. See ya.